Okay, as boring as this might be for me, some of you guys out there watching these videos have never really worked on stuff. And other of you guys probably worked on a lot of stuff. So this is for the guys who really have never worked on stuff and are going, well, how do you do it? So I thought maybe somebody might want to watch me tear this chassis down. So it's not that big a deal for me to turn that on and talk a little bit. So let's set this straight right here. This isn't for me or about me. This is to help the guy who really doesn't know. So I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna work. If you want to watch it, watch it. Otherwise, don't watch it. It's real simple. Don't watch it. So hopefully I'll get a little organized here. And I'll be in and out of camera, talking. There'll be a hum in the background. It's my air compressor. I got it fired up in case I need to zap something or other. For you guys who don't know, this is an impact wrench. It's a screwdriver, whatever head you want to put it on, so you can pop some stuff in it. So we've got some little screw heads here. And we squirted it down with some Gibbs. We've been squirting it down. This is an ongoing process. As you can see, I had the cork off. But here's our little Gibbs. We're going to put a little more squirt on it. This is a little final. One of the guys says he wants this crazy old wiring in for whatever reason, so we're going to try and save it for him. And see if we can't get some of this apart. So he wants some of the stuff off this chassis. So all good. It's all him. We're going to try to pull some of it apart here. So that's what we're doing. If you want to watch, watch. If you don't, turn it off. Nobody else makes these kind of videos. So if it helps just one of you guys, it's worth it to me. Because what nobody helping me like this, the technology wasn't there when I was a kid. You know what I did? I went to Flathead Fern and I said, look, I'm going to go out in your parking lot, I'm going to borrow your manual, I'm going to borrow your tools, I'm going to pay you full rate if I get stuck. That's how I learned. Because I didn't know. I was a kid. I was 19 years old, working on a Tan-Day. Didn't have a clue in the world. Let's see if we can't get this little dash loose. See, it twists it. It helps break it loose. Instead of just turning it with a screwdriver, it's much better. You just got to use the right head. And be real firm with it. Indispensable tool in your tool chest. Now, I'm not always real good about this, but as I get my tools slimy, I kind of like to wipe them off. Sometimes I ignore that little pennant, but when I can, I do it. Okay, these are little screws right here. They're all screws, little pinhead screws. I held that in. Got some spacers under here. I'm going to go through all that in a dip, get cleaned up. And we're going to cut off some of this wiring loop for the guy. This is cloth tape, actually cloth tape. You can get it various places. A good supplier would be people who make baseballs. Hopefully you can hear me as I talk. I should be a little quiet right now. Pull that off. So it'll be there. It's always there. It's here. It's there. And then we're going to pull the wire off. Well, always use the right screwdriver. Make sure it fits tight, not loose, not too big, or you'll chew up your screws. You'd be amazed how many guys don't know that. It just messes them all up. Make sure it fits tight, just like putting a socket on a head. If you're doing something like this, don't throw the screw in the pile, put the screw back in the hole. I'm amazed at how many guys take stuff off a bike, save it for later. They never save the brackets. They never save the screws. It's like, dude, how are you supposed to put it back on? Wow, that was good. Be firm, or you will mess up the head of your screw or bolt or whatever. Now, this is what's called a rebuildable coil. It's a Harley coil. This is filled with tar. If you heat it up to the right temperature, don't ask me what that is, because I still got to figure out how to do it myself. I just know that it can be done. So it's got to be gooey, not liquid. And they sell reproduction cables, and you get little stock cables, and you very gently stick it back through the tire onto the little pickup points. So obviously, if your tire is too liquidy, your pickup points aren't clear of tar and dead coil. But technically, you can rebuild them. So what happens is the tar gets old and cracked, and these come loose and don't stick on there in dead coil. So you just warm it up a little bit so it's just a little gooey-ish, and yank these out, pop new ones in, and you have a working coil again if you do it right. So we're going to pull this off now. Here's one of our little original cookies here, and another one here. Pull those off, save them. Supposed to be. Now, some of you guys are going, why doesn't that fool have a bench? I got one right over there. It's got a 49 pan in on it. I got one. And that's relatively new for me. I didn't have one for most of my life. But for some reason, because I'm so used to this feels more right to me. A bench gets in my way. I don't like it. Pain in the ass. Up, down, move around. I drop shit on the floor. Where it is to go? Bad enough here. You can see I'm looking for a tool, which should have been here. It's a real pain in the ass for me on the bench. It's like, man, where'd that thing roll off to? Again, that little hum you're hearing, that's the air compressor in the background. I don't have a piston air compressor for a reason. I blew it up. Sometimes they're half inch, but they're usually 9/6 inch. Depends who, what, where. pull this off. Now this is the back of your wiring room on these fan heads. That's the main wiring face. And it's all bakelite in the back. Right back to the coil. That's fine. We got our coil. Original coil there. Okay. We wanted the wiring blue. So it's all right there. My way got me cool. There we go. Now these are your supporting bolts for your coil. Here, you can see them? Here. Goes on, cover goes on here, and then your nut holding your coil. Knucklehead is different. This is a pan head. This is a 48 pan head. This is correct for a 48 pan head. How it is. Good now. Okay, then we have what's left. This wiring. Now, I obviously cut the wires here for the rear fender. The rear fender has to come off. Take care of that a little bit. There we go. So that's that. Somebody's put a star washer in the back of that. It's not really how they came. It's a little flat washer like this. And we'll put that in this cover here in solvent. Nuts here. So that's that there. Let's take this little piece over here. Okay. And we'll get that there in little bits. So as you can see, this is a bit of a mess. This is all crap that's come off this chassis. These are air tools, as you can see. This is what I use. This is construction grade here. The skinny ones are real easy to pop on. They can pop off and your airline goes flying around right into your original paint bike, or your just freshly painted bike, or your cool custom shop, or whatever it is, bang, right upside your tank. These usually don't come off. I've always used them. They're a little more expensive. They're a hell of a lot harder to get on and off. I've seen people lose the other ones. When I was a kid, when I first started collecting tools, I always just wigged out about it. So I just spent the extra money and just never had a problem. That's what that is. And that's why. I don't know, Chris. That's why I do it. This here is your early crash bar here. Came out. As you can see here, 48 chassis. It's never been machined here. Got the special little brace here. That doesn't mean some of the 48s weren't the other style. I can't imagine why. It's got a wishbone frame. So I've never seen one. Don't know. I'm assuming as a hypothesis that maybe Harley did something weird. The only ones I've ever seen is this down here in 48. So these bolts here, no markings on the head. Some of them are CP, some are not. And these spacers. I've got a Newell sock one of these crash bars. So as far as I know, this is the first European head all the way up to and back to the straight leg frame. The same crash bar. Chrome or black. Now, I'm stating it that way for a reason, for as far as I know. Because, as you've seen with Greenie, there are anomalies that Harley made that there's no documents for it. So, if somebody says, I know, implying that's the only way it can be, that means that they don't know. As far as I know, and I'm bad about that myself. I've been really bad.